What are the range of emotions for you, the offense? You guys win the game. I mean, that's why you play the game. But also, you didn't play well. Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think remembering that we did win is the way to push forward. That's as basic as it is. I mean, it's no one in that locker room offensively was, accepting what we put out there. But the beauty of the game, again, we won, and we have so much room with such correctable things to improve for Saturday. It just all came down to fundamentals, and it's an easy fix. It's a simple fix, but it's also very challenging to just everyone doing their job great fundamentally every single play, and that's our goal for Saturday.
How much do you go back to the drawing board versus sticking with what you're doing and trusting that the fundamentals will be better?
There's no going back to the drawing board at all. We have a sound scheme. We have a really good scheme. We have really good players. We have guys that play hard and that want to improve. Unfortunately, the game, the way it is, sometimes it doesn't go the way you want it to. But the beauty, again, of this game is that we have another opportunity on Saturday to play how we want to play and to, put 60 minutes of good football out there.
I was just trying to make sure he didn't get out of the end zone because I feel like some of these referees like to give the offense the benefit of the doubt sometimes. But I was just trying to make sure that he stayed in the end zone. I wasn't trying to do anything extra. But it was all just set up because all my teammates were in the right gaps, and I was able to fill my gap. So kudos to my teammates and kudos to each other for pinning them down on the one because it makes my job easy. So.
Is that kind of the ultimate way for a defensive player, a safety, more so than a big sack or an interception?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like any big play is fun for a defensive guy, like a sack, a pick six, scoop and score, safety. I mean, you can just kind of go down the list, but anytime you make a big play, it's just super fun to be able to celebrate with your teammates and have them celebrate with you. But I would say one's not bigger than the other. It's just you get the taste of it, and then you just want to kind of chase those big plays, but also you want to be able to do your job every single play.
You got stitches, man?
Yeah, I got stitches.
What happened?
I'm not saying. Oh man, I think it's like any other in-state rivalry. I'm being from Michigan. The Michigan State rivalry is something that's really huge. If you're from Alabama, I lived in Alabama for a little bit, so Alabama-Auburn was always a big rivalry. So I think whenever you have an in-state team, there's always just that animosity between two sides. So I think any in-state rivalry is completely huge. And once I got here, I fully understood that.
Just being more physical.
How much is the continuity and chemistry? It takes some time. You guys have had injuries on the offensive line, zone blocking scheme. You need to kind of be on the same page. How much did you see that on Saturday, maybe being off a little bit, and how much progress can you guys make in that area?
Yeah, Saturday we had a lot of young guys out there. I think that was the biggest takeaway was, we had 3 or 4 guys playing their first game reps for the first time, and other guys, moving in different positions. So it certainly was going to be a little bit different compared to last year, I think, obviously. So, my takeaway from that was just we got to play more together as a unit and understand that, just because the lights are on or there's a different, colored jersey across from us, that doesn't mean, we fall apart or do something different or try to be Superman out there. So I know myself and some of the older guys in the offensive line have certainly tried to help the young guys, and they understand now, what it takes to win a game. So that's the best thing we took from Saturday.
I'm pretty guilty. Was it the South Carolina State guy last week? I think he ran past the line of scrimmage and punted the ball. And I actually didn't realise you weren't allowed to do that. And everyone was talking around the special stream the following morning. I was like, you're not allowed to do that. And I'm like, no, you can't punt the ball once you pass the line of scrimmage. I'm like, oh shit, I would have done that. So, I'm glad that hasn't happened. And someone was the guinea pig and done it before me. But hopefully that doesn't eventually.
This is your third year.
Yeah.
Don't you think you might have known that by now?
No, because it's a complicated game in itself, and I really just try to simplify it as much as I can. And to be brutally honest, I just catch the ball and kick it. So that's just what I try and focus on. I really don't try to worry about all that external stuff. But I think just in terms of the way the game goes, and there's certain rules that I've kind of picked up on, but until it actually happens or I ask the question, I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I have so I'm from Ames, so I got some buddies, who text me, so they're all Iowa State fans, so I try to stay off my phone as much as possible. Just kind of approach it as just like another week, It's kind of hard to do that just because, you know, especially for me growing up, like I knew how big this rivalry was, being in Ames and being an Iowa fan in Ames. So I knew how big that was, but I got to you know, stay focused on the little things and trying to improve. Awesome. So yeah, good story. So I moved to Ames my 5th grade year, and my dad, he played here for a year, and his family was huge Iowa fans. So I just always grew up an Iowa fan, and I grew up like just dreaming and just wanting to be here as much as possible, you know. Wanted to put on the black and gold and swim out with my brothers. So, you know, going into Ames, 5th grade, I had all my Iowa gear. I'd wear it all the time to school, and, you know, you'd have, you know, kids, parents saying, like, hey, like, you know you're wearing that. Like, that's not the right thing to wear around here, right? And, you know, I didn't care. I was like, yeah, but I love these guys. You know, like, this is my team, so.
How do you guys shut out the outside noise?
I mean, we don't really listen to it in the first place. Like, I know there's probably, Coach Farron said there's probably a lot of stuff that you guys are going to say that we don't really know what's going on. But obviously we know there's stuff that we need to work on. But just like I said, just flushing stuff and looking to improve for the next week, and just looking to be 1-0 each week, you know what I'm saying, and get the win against Iowa State.
Do you stay off social media? Do you try to avoid any of that?
I'd say in the off season I'm on social media, but like right now, like I'm not on. I'm on it, but I'm not really reading a whole lot of stuff. Like if I'm on it, I'm usually like tweeting about college football or just like in like Bible verses or motivational stuff. But I try to stay away from the negative stuff. It's not good for the mind.
You missed some